Hi, in this video we'll be building our weekly audit workflow in n8n as a really simple thing to do, and I encourage everyone to actually run it, and it is pretty easy. You just need to use the API key of the n8n instance of yours, and just with some basic LLM magic there, and you let it explain what needs to be done and so on. So that's the information you will be getting. So I just tested it out a couple of times today. As you can see, the text is slightly different, and I'm trying to limit this in terms of tokens, the characters that it supplies. So this makes this message kind of brief. And so good day team, la la la, it runs weekly. And then we have the patch the system. I'm behind with my version now. Actually have to restart it again and pull the fresh Docker image. Then we have the unused secrets for BigQuery, one of them. Google Tasks, not using this anymore. Grok account, not using this as well. And GWT, there is a different implementation there. But again, this informs me about the unused secrets. And also the community nodes, obviously the API and the Qdrant. Well, these are community nodes, can't really do much there, but yeah. It would be great if everyone would run those on a weekly basis, or like a monthly basis or something, just for you to understand what aren't you seeing basically. So the missing pieces, it would be great, because sometimes we are just forgetting about the credentials, the updates, and some other things. Obviously I don't have much here, but this system is pretty much up to date at this point of time. But yeah, we need to make especially the self-hosted thing, we need to make sure it is up to date with the community nodes that we actually use, and the version. Yeah, the version is really important as well. So the implementation is very, very simple. So in this video, we'll go through this really simple workflow that I run on a weekly basis. We have a schedule trigger, and it is weekly indeed, on Sunday at midnight. And then I have this native n8n node that obviously needs your API key for the n8n instance that you're running. I will show you where to get it, but it is pretty simple. It is available on the community edition, on the paid edition as well, and this is my self-hosted n8n, so in this case I am also using this myself. So what's happening here? Every week we are running an audit. There is this native function here to audit the n8n instance using my API key, and the operation is generate and days abandoned workflow. So if there are any workflows that are still there but I didn't do anything about them, just for it to inform me about, something weird happening there. I can also select categories. I don't really need those. And oh, actually I have no retrial here. Okay, I'll have this added now. And then once it runs, I have this message model, so I didn't really need the AI agent here, but this is the Gemini model, text and the message model, and I'm just using the Pro latest. So the way it looks, it has two parts of the prompt. When it runs, there is this generated report that's being generated, so the generated text, right? And this is these are my supplied arguments. So audit summary, credential risks, nodes risk, and instance risks. So 3 of those, compact to JSON string and so on. And the system prompt is somewhat different. Simplify output here, Google search if needed. And the output randomness is 0.3 because I don't need it to be random. Even so, my system prompt is kind of funny. So role. Act as a security analyst named Bob for the n8n instance. You are working on the blue team defense for NASA, and you always wear your tinfoil hat. You're 50 years old school DEFCON veteran, and understand cybersecurity pen testing, use some industry jargon to spice things up. Even so, I'm not sure that actually makes sense now when I changed that setting. It used to be 0.7, so it was more creative in those answers. So constraints, always in Markdown format, time is money, make it short, respond in polite, somewhat posh manner, avoid using jargon. Even so, this is kind of contradicting now if I if I'm honest, so maybe I will just remove this part here. When possible, provide recommendations, suggestions, improve the security of this n8n instance, do not exceed 700 characters, and the task itself, I believe, well, it's just the LLM usually doesn't really look back, so it is a good idea always to have the task, for the steps to be completed at the very end of the system prompt, in my eyes, and from the looks of it, that's something that others are doing as well. And we have the read and analyze the audit results provided for you, analyze the recommendations. When needed, use the web search tool to understand the recommendations problem space better. I'm not sure about this one because even so it is enabled on this node. It is not the AI agent, so I can't really check if it did. Probably I have to replace it with the AI agent, but you know, for the time being, the audit fails I had, they are not that complicated, let's be honest, especially, well, you'll see. And then come up with a brief summary and recommendations to fix your n8n instance. Remember, this is the Gemini Pro latest. To make it more secure, this is it. And then name every action. This one is new, I just added it today. That needs an update with exact names, workflows, versions, and credentials. That's it. Once I have it, I will just send it in my Telegram to this chat ID with me, with my ID. Yeah, with disabling the web page preview, disabling notification. I don't need it to message me in any weird way. And I'm using those ticks, so you will see, like in the beginning of that video, you will see like an interesting type of message, the formatting on Telegram, which is really cool as well. And this was the payload that was recently returned, actually today. I've been testing a couple of things today on this audit workflow. So let's just save it, publish, and we'll see how it worked out for us. Obviously with this payload, because I'm accessing this from the executions tab, so there is some payload already pinned here. So it takes some time, but Gemini is not bad. And I got that notification from my bot here. As you can see, I won't open it now because I will reveal a lot of things in my Telegram like I did last time. So now I won't do it. You have to watch my second or first video, and there is a configuration for the Telegram bot. It is really not that difficult. And this is the payload that I got. Most critically, we are exposed. Update from version this to this. CVEs, yeah, if you were living under, if you were living under the rock, recently n8n had some really serious vulnerabilities, and hopefully these are supposed to fix those. Let's button this up. Time is of the essence. So a couple of nodes that, credentials that I'm not using. With nodes, I think it doesn't really like the custom code in my Goodreads daily quotes for Twitter, and it doesn't really like the audit for API. But you know, we can't really do much about those community nodes unless you are really confident about using the HTTP calls yourself. Anyway, I hope that was useful. This is a really simple workflow, and I really recommend you to run it on a weekly basis, just for you to have this information to store it. You can also store the results in some kind of a Google Doc format or something, not in Telegram, for everyone to see, but it is extremely convenient, and just for you to understand that you did an update, or there is something wrong, or there are some credentials that you are not using, and some weird community nodes that you are not supposed to have. Anyway, guys, thank you for your time. This one was short this time. Now I have to figure out how to post this video. No idea how it works.